And last year, one of your semi-scorching takes was that the 49ers were going to underwhelm. Everybody was all about them. They were the darling of the NFL. And you predicted a 7-9 season, and that was even before Jimmy Garoppolo goes down. And then the wheels fall completely off after week 3. So impressive take there. But Jimmy G obviously was a huge reason for their lack of success, or his lack of presence there. What's the latest on him, his recovery, and what are we expecting out of him in 2019?
What's the latest out of him? Well, we talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he said he's ahead of schedule, just like every athlete ever has said about their recovery from an ACL surgery. So the question is he actually going to participate in team drills and in training camp? And we'll see.
Right.
The expectation is he's going to be ready for week 1. If he plays 16 games, I would expect his numbers would be somewhere around 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 16 picks. Mm-hmm. He's thrown a lot of picks with the Niners. His TD to INT ratio hasn't been great, but he's thrown for a lot of yards. Nick Mullins threw for a lot of yards. I mean, their production in this scheme has been pretty similar. Mm-hmm. You can look at what Nick Mullins did in 8 games last year and pretty much prorate that out of over 16 games, maybe give Jimmy Garoppolo a little bit of a bump, but I expect at the end of the season his quarterback rating will be around 93, 94. Mm-hmm. But really the issue with Garoppolo from a fantasy perspective, if you're thinking about investing in Garoppolo, the issue isn't necessarily his picks or his yards, it's his durability. Mm-hmm. You want a guy who's going to give you 16 games, 16 weeks. Russell Wilson's never missed a game in his life. Garoppolo's only played 10 games. He's 27. He started 2 games for the Patriots, separated his shoulder, started 8 games for the 49ers, tore his ACL. So the burden is on him to show that he can last a full season. And if you're drafting him high, you're betting on him on these injuries just being flukes. If you pass on him, you're saying this guy might not have the body type, the durability to last in the NFL. He's, after all, an Eastern Illinois guy. He was never really tested in college.
Yeah, and at a position so just deep in talent right now, quarterback fantasy-wise, it's just he's not too high on my radar. I mean, the floor you illustrated is very low with those injury concerns. And then the ceiling, is it even that great? Like your projection, 4,000 yards and 25, 30 TDs? You can find that pretty much anywhere in fantasy these days. So I'm personally not on the Jimmy G train, and you illustrated a lot of the reasons why.